Hello and welcome to a cast by General Chekhov. Now, this is my first cast, so any feedback that you have for me will be appreciated. As they say, Rome was not built in a day. So yeah, leave your comments, and whatever you want to say, I'll hear it. Now, this is going to be a match between two stacks. One stack from Thunder Cougar Falcon Bird. I believe he was the one that told me to cast this on a subreddit called Dota 2 Casted, and the stack of P0wernet, who is a pretty famous player, personality in the Dota 2 field. He used to play for a team called Gosu and now plays a lot of stand-in for Evil Geniuses, I believe. Now this is an all-pick match, so we're going to be jumping pretty much straight into the action once the picks have been done. None of the whole 10-minute captain's mode drafting that we see often in pro games. This is obviously on the matchmaking ladder, so it's not going to be quite as serious. However, it is going to be on the very high band of matchmaking, so we should see some good play from both teams. Now the game has officially started, so let's see what the picks are like. I'm going to set this to free camera. Hope that it stops lagging a little bit.
Prepare for battle.
So there's the friendly banter coming out from both teams. Thunder Cougar Falcon Bird calls out the fact that P0wernet is a EG stand-in, and apparently someone is a high school student. We'll find out who that is soon, I suppose. So let's start with what the draft is on the Dire side team. Now we have a bounty hunter. Looks like he's going to be going solo off lane. He seems to have gotten some regen pulled from the other players. On the safe lane, we're going to have a Chaos Knight Wisp combo. Now this is a classic combo, which most people probably know about. Wisp tethers the Chaos Knight. Chaos Knight goes in for the Reality Rift, and the Wisp tether triggers a 2-second stun. Following that,
30 seconds to
the
battle.
Chaos Knight stuns using his Chaos Bolt. Obviously that's a quite long duration stun. Now the question is where the Razor and the Slardar are going to go, because I imagine the Razor is going to be going middle, because that seems to be a classic one for pubs. But the Slardar doesn't fit into a tri-lane on top, so he's probably going to end up going bottom. On the Radiant side, we're going to have a Jungle Enigma, Gyrocopter safe lane farmer. It looks like a Mirana mid with a sexy tiger. Ormer the Lunar Dragon. And a solo offlane Queen of Pain. Interesting. And the support for the safe lane is going to be a Jackro. Now it looks like we're going to have an engagement at level 1 here, possibly. Oh. Yeah. But no, Bounty Hunter's just scouting out where it is. Oh, and he's going to try to pull the lane, but unfortunately because Enigma was there already, he was not able to do that and had to go into stealth. So Slardar has ended up on the bottom lane, going to be laning with Bounty Hunter. Interesting choice. I suppose there is a combo in that to some extent, with the burst coming from Slardar and the Bounty Hunter, but nothing super serious. So I think Gyrocopter and Jackro should have a pretty easy time on this lane. The solo co-op should also pose no problems for the Chaos Knight and the Wisp. The Wisp is already stacking stacking creeps, of course, for the pull. I don't think the Queen of Pain will be able to force anything off of the Chaos Knight and the Wisp, except possibly a little bit of harass. But with the regen that seems to also have been pulled a little bit on the Chaos Knight, they might even be looking at a kill, especially with the Tether Chaos Bolt combo. Mid lane, I'm honestly not sure how this matchup is going to go. I think probably we're going to see the Mirana come out a little bit on top because of her extra mobility and her stun. Razor will only be able to harass with his plasma field. And we do have wards already on the runes, but only for the Dire side. So Razor will, however, have a little bit of an easier time going for the runes because he'll be able to see whether there's anything on the top rune. Enigma, of course, is just jungling away as usual. Thunder Cougar Falcon Bird. I actually rather like that name. And Yeah, as I expected, the Gyrocopter Jackal lane is having no trouble pushing off the Slardar and the Bounty Hunter. By the looks of it, they're not even able to get any real kill value. Let's see, the creep stats will be, yeah, Chaos Knight. Oh, I'm wrong. Apparently Slardar has managed to get quite a few last hits, more than the Gyrocopter, in fact. But yeah. Now let's go through and see who is actually playing them. We have Courage on the Slardar, Genocide Run. Is that supposed to be look, it's a Genocide Run, or I don't know, but that's going to be the Bounty Hunter, and I'm just going to refer to this guy as Razor. P0wernet is on the Wisp, of course, and the Chow Lannister Fuck Finals is on the Chaos Knight. On the other side we have the Scrivy on the Mirana, Reyna on the Quap, Thundercooler Falconbird on the Enigma, and Hyosung's Knockers on the Gyrocopter with Paradox on the Jackro. Now it looks like there's a little bit of harass going on. It looks like the Bounty Hunter has managed to get off a little bit of damage on the Enigma. Nothing too serious as of yet, but it could go pretty badly for the Enigma if he continues like this. But he gets off the Malefice and forces the Bounty Hunter into stealth, also taking off about half health. Jackaro's there to secure that nothing happens. The Dyer's Courier has just managed to be killed somewhere. Not quite sure where, but it looks like it might be top. The Queen of Pain is in a bit of trouble, but she's going to make it alive because of her blink. Thankfully she has that, because otherwise that combo would have ended her. It looks like the Enigma and the Jackro are going for a kill on the Bounty Hunter, and are they going to make it? Yes, they are. That's the first blood gone to the Jackro. It's a nice little boost for a support kit. Might actually be able to get boots before the 8-minute mark at this rate. Hyosung's Knockers are just pounding away, getting 16 last hits, but surprisingly, the Slardar is managing to stay on lane. I think it's probably because of the fact that he can simply run away whenever they apply any pressure with his sprint, so they're not bothering to apply too much pressure to him. Although Hyosung's Knockers is leveling up his flag cannon, but I imagine he's a little bit hesitant to use it too much because that'll push the lane. There is no ancient stack, neutral creep stack for the pull spawn, which I think is a little bit of a misplay when you have a Gyrocopter who has to be using flag cannon for harass. They could be getting a lot more out of this lane if they had started stacking and pulling. Instead, the Jackro is just kind of flying around. The Razor seems to be trying to go for a rune, but there is no rune on the bottom, nor is there one on the top. The Mirana seems to have been getting quite good handle on those runes. On top, we see the same thing happening still. Chaos Knight is, of course, ahead of the Queen of Pain by a significant margin with 26 last hits to 13 on the side of the Chaos Knight. So, as expected, the Chaos Knight Wisp lane is doing well. The Wisp is pulling with the this camp to the lane and stacking the other one. So hopefully we're going to see. Oh no, he's going to pull. He fails his pull there. Okay. It looks like the Slardar has been left a solo lane down at the bottom while the Bounty Hunter roams around. It seems like they're trying to go for a kill here on top lane, and they manage without even the Bounty Hunter having to help. So yeah, the CK Wisp combo pays off relatively early, and they start making back the first blood that they lost earlier on. Enigma is happily jungling away still, so that's going on, but you can't really stop an Enigma. He's almost got his Blink Dagger, in fact, by the looks of it. No, he's going for a instant Hand of Midas. Interesting. Not sure if I agree with that, because it does delay his Blink Dagger, whereas he could have already had the potential to initiate with a Black Hole at the 7-minute mark. Instead, he's going to be looking at a more farm-heavy build for later. Probably going to put that into building the quintessential support items, such as the mech and the pipe. Now he might actually die here to the bounty hunter if he doesn't play this well. Bounty hunter does have a shuriken toss, but it's not going to be quite enough. And the Malefice might actually let him get the kill off to counter the kill that the bounty hunter just got. But no, the bounty hunter survives and makes it out alive.
Dire's bottom tower
The
is
top
under
lane,
attack.
it looks like they're just pressuring as usual. Chaos Knight matching the last hit count of the
Dire's bottom
gyrocopter.
tower
But
is under attack.
gyrocopter seems to be... Where is the gyrocopter? Ah, the gyrocopter died. I apologize for that. I must have missed a kill. The Chaos Knight just killed the Queen of Pain again, but got killed in the process by the Mirana that came up from the mid lane. Looks like the Bounty Hunter's using a bottle here to replenish himself, and then probably going to give it back to the Razor. Yep, there it is. On the bottom lane, business as usual though. Slardar is being forced back a little bit. You can see his creep stats are going down compared to the gyrocopter now being 13 lost hits behind and 5 denied. But the Chaos Knight has come down for some assistance, and they do manage to kill the gyrocopter with the help of an ice path. I'm not sure whether the ice path was really necessary there, nor whether
Radiant's
the
bottom tower is under attack.
4-man approach was. They're going to try to chase the Jackro, but a very clever ice path, using the back of the ice path just here to prevent the Slardar from getting the stun off. Tower-wise, it looks like they have a little bit of damage on the bottom tower from the Radiant side, and about the same here. So it looks pretty even right now, with one kill going in favor of the Dire side at the moment.
Dire's top tower
But of course,
is
it's
under
only
attack.
the 9-minute 30
Radiant's
mark at the
bottom
moment,
tower
so
is under attack.
you never know what's going to happen. This game is 55 minutes long, so it's looking to be a lot.
Radiant's middle tower is under
Now
attack.
we do see an engagement here. There's a call down in the middle of everything. The Bounty Hunter goes down, and the Wisp almost survives, but gets hit by the gyrocopter at the last second. Nobody from the Radiant side goes down, so that was a good engagement for the Radiant side. The Chaos Knight was here, but manages to TP out just in time. Now they might try to push this tower now. If they do, I'm not sure they are going to be able to get it, because the Wisp and the Bounty Hunter are now back up. They are going for it, but the Ice Path goes down on the Bounty Hunter, the Static Link goes down on the Jackro, but the Razor goes down before he can take advantage of that. The Tether from the Wisp stuns out the Mirana and gets her to very low health, at which point the Chaos Knight just reality rips back. And the Mirana is very sad at the recent turn of events. Now, Enigma is still farming away. He seems to have decided to skip boots in favor of an even earlier mechanism, taking full advantage of the Hand of Midas. But I still am not sure whether this is the best choice between that and a black hole, because of the immense power of initiation on the side of the Dire. You kind of want the blink to be a counter initiator versus the global teleport from the Wisp and the stealth from the Bounty Hunter, and all these things that can just really screw you up. Now the Jackro is going to go down, but not before taking down a lot of health. If we do seem to have a gyrocopter coming up, but I don't think he's going to be able to catch up to the Chaos Knight and the Bounty Hunter, so they are going to get away scot-free. Although they will have to regenerate after that engagement. So a free kill on bottom for the Dire side. Top lane, there seems to be a small engagement with the Slardar versus the Queen of Pain, but nothing too big. Queen of Pain's ulti is still down, so she's not going to be going for a kill until it's up. It is up soon, but as the Slardar is backing off because the wave has been pushed back behind the tower, don't think we're going to see any action there. Now this is interesting. The two players from the Dire side are in the jungle of the Radiant, looking for a kill on the Enigma. going in. The static click gets cancelled by the Malefice, and there's the black hole inside the tower. Ice Path goes down a little bit early, I would say, but they get the job done. Both players from the Dire side, the Bounty Hunter and the Razor, go down, and Enigma gets away scot-free from this gank, which should have been a relatively easy kill on Enigma. Probably a bit of a misplay. Call down goes down. Queen of Pain goes down as well. P0wernet on the Wisp is going to manage to get out just in the nick of time, and this fight is going to turn around. The gyrocopter pops a haste and is being chased by the Chaos Knight and the Wisp. They are looking for the Reality Rift, they are looking for the stun, but they are not going to get it. Mirana pops her ultimate, and now it looks like they're going to try to get a counter initiation, but the Wisp TP's out just in time. Enigma is going to continue jungling, and the gyrocopter is going to go and regenerate. And the Jackro is looking around, placing some wards, looking for some rune spots, possibly early warning of ganks coming through the jungle. Possibly just got scared by the fact that these two have been walking around in the jungle here without them knowing. Let's look at the values now. Of course, the Enigma with his Hand of Midas is doing very well on the financial front, as a net worth of 5.5, almost 5.5k gold, has the mech up and running now, has a Hand of Midas and the Soul Ring. Still doesn't have boots, but it doesn't look like he cares too much because the Malefice, of course, does let him walk away a little bit easier. The Wisp and the CK have meanwhile ported themselves into the Radiant side, but the path from the Jackro misses and they manage to make it back when the relocate expires. It looks like they might be looking to push the middle tower as 4 players are converging there. Going to see what they can do with it. The Chaos Knight and the Wisp both recovered very well from that failed engagement down at the bottom. Not sure what they were looking for there. Possibly just a quick pick off, as they do have a ward there from the Dire side.
Tower is under attack.
And now they are pushing the tier 1 tower in middle. The Wisps, little Wisps I suppose, are keeping away the players rather well from the Radiant side, but the Bounty Hunter's looking for an opener. Not going to go for the Jackro because the rest of his team are backing off. They didn't get the tower, but they did get a lot of damage onto it. Now there is an initiation. The Wisp goes down for a good leap from Mirana and a good arrow, and it looks like they're going to just walk away from it, wanting to cut their losses on the Dire side. Oh, and there's a dust goes out. They catch out the Bounty Hunter, kill him quickly with the Rocket Barrage and the Ice Path. They do take a lot of damage in return from the Razor Plasma Field, but acceptable losses. Mirana continues farming with that sexy dragon of hers. So she's buying bracers, so she's probably going to go for a drums. Jackaro has very little, being the position 5 in this matchup. And the gyrocopter is also actually not doing too well, and dies again to a relocate from the Wisp and the CK. That delays his Shadow Blade again. 4-second stun on the Mirana. She is probably going to go down. Nope, there's a good leap from her. Jacker cannot do it. Has another path up. Going to path now. No, cancels it because he knows that it's not the real one. Tries to path the real CK. Doesn't make any kind of play happen. Instead, going to lose both the Jackro and the Mirana to a plasma field from the Razor. Razor also looking a little bit underfed with just a Wraith Band, a bottle, and some power treads at the 15th, 16th minute. Chaos Knight, on the other hand, looking pretty good, has drums, has enough money for his Armlet of Mordigion. In fact, that's the Armlet of Mordigion flying out on the courier now for the Chaos Knight. Mirana, a little bit less. Obviously, the Radiant side really wants the gyrocopter to be as farmed as possible, because that is, of course, their late game hard carry, the same position that the Chaos Knight is filling. So they're going to have to work a little bit to get back the disadvantage there. As you can see, there's almost a 2,000 gold disadvantage on the Radiant side in terms of how fed their hard carries are. They do somewhat make up for it with a very, very farmed Enigma, but I'm honestly not sure how much a farmed Enigma can contribute compared to a farmed Gyrocopter or Chaos Knight. We do have an engagement on the top lane. The Bounty Hunter is going to be tracking the Queen of Pain. but nothing's going to come of that. Meanwhile, a Jackro died somewhere. I apologize for missing that. And the Wisp and the CK are coming in. They are going to land a Reality Rift on the Queen of Pain, and the Queen of Pain goes down to them again. Mirana comes in, tries to kill the Wisp, but the Reality Rift does stop her from... Oh, and there goes the Wisp indeed. 4 seconds stun on Mirana though, and she's going to go down with track gold being awarded to the dire side. I gotta say the dire side is looking quite good, but a call down comes down from the gyrocopter, and an ice path from the Jackro hits nobody, neither does his twin breath. The bounty hunter survives on 100 HP in the tree line. Imagine they are not happy about that, but they did manage to kill off the Chaos Knight and the Wisp. Small victories. The Enigma has finally bought his Blink Dagger and it's coming in on the courier right now. And the Bounty Hunter makes it out A-okay. Looks like he's trying to for initiation, but the Jackro is just not having a good time with his Ice Paths this game. Misses an Ice Path, misses a Twin Blade, a Twin Breath, and gets tracked, and there is a Razor coming up to help the Bounty Hunter kill this Jackro. The Bounty Hunter just is not afraid. He's seen that the Jackro has missed quite a few abilities recently, so he is playing Daredevil, and it pays off. But the Mirana does come in and get a arrow kill off on the Bounty Hunter. And then the Enigma does go down to a Chaos Knight and Wisp combo. Chaos Knight looking pretty solid again. Now going to start building his BKB. A Bounty Hunter trade for the Jackro. Quite even, I'd say. The Bounty Hunter probably a more important hero to keep alive than the Jackro. But the track gold from the Bounty Hunter does even that out a little bit. Now, the Chaos Knight here sees the Queen of Pain, sees the gyrocopter, and they go for the Queen of Pain, and before anyone can react, the Queen of Pain goes down. Apologize for that. Queen of Pain does go down. And the call down comes down, as does the Macro Pyre. But the Reality Rift does drag the Chaos Knight out of it. Some armlet toggling gets him up enough that he doesn't die. Now TP's back out. Bounty Hunter is going to go down in the Ice Path. The Wisp tries to save him with a Earn Charge, but it might actually cost him his life. Yep, there's the Ice Path goes down, lands an Ice Path, lands a Starfall, and the Wisp goes down to the Mirana. The Enigma is back, has a black hole available, has a blink, so it's going to be hard for them to defend this tower, and honestly, it wouldn't be wise to. It's just a tier 1. This is now... The Radiant side is now a little bit ahead in terms of gold, but only slight... Oh, less than I expected. Yeah, I suppose the kills on the Dire side do count for a lot, especially with that tasty track coming out from the Bounty Hunter. The experience is heavily in favor of the Dire side at the moment with 3,000 advantage. They do take 2 towers. The Dire side has no chance to counter-initiate, has no chance to prevent the Radiants from taking those towers, and they are happy with that, so they back off. Still a kill advantage on the Dire side, but it's not that massive as of yet. This game could still go either way. Gyrocopter goes down to another Wisp and CK combo. Now they've been doing really well on this, and they just relocate back out to the fountain and regenerate and continue their run. The CK is doing very, very well with 13 kills to 2 deaths. And it's just this, it's this combo between the Wisp and the CK. If he Reality Rifts you and he manages to keep the tether in range so that it doesn't break, there is not very much you can do about it, especially with a follow-up Chaos Bolt. If he's lucky with it, like I said, almost a 6-second stun coming out from that. Not even Queen of Pain can really do much about it, especially considering she is very, very squishy at the moment with Arcane Boots, a bottle, and Mantle of Intelligence and 2 GG branches. The Bounty Hunter sees this entire group moving, and it looks like they're going to try to initiate, but the Dire side sees them, catches them out. The Enigma does not have a Blink Dagger up. Might try for a Black Hole, but Honestly, they're trying to minimize this damage. There's a black hole into the call down. 5 people caught. The entire dire side team goes down. 5-man kill. Full team wipe from the Radiants. The bounty hunter even goes, we lost. Not sure it's quite that dire yet, but that was a very good team fight from the Radiant side. It didn't look good coming into it, but they made it back. They made it back with the call down and the black hole. And now they're just going to take this tower, possibly go for a little bit of damage on the tier 3, considering they still have 30 seconds until the Chaos Knight comes back up. And so they're relatively safe going for this. There's a little bit of low health on the Mirana, so it might be a bit dangerous, but yeah, the Enigma's just going to leave his Eidolons there and a few creeps to take it down. The Wisp and the Bounty Hunter this time come in to try to get a kill, but the Ice Path goes down on the Bounty Hunter. Bounty Hunter goes into stealth, and the Wisp is going to TP out in 2 seconds. Nothing's going to happen here. Jackro takes a bit of a beating from the Wisp's spirits and continues on. Hyunsung's Knocker is now looking a little bit better with 2,000 gold in the bank and a Shadow Blade, as well as a Helm of the Dominator. So potentially he could start farming up ancient stacks now, if anybody stacks. I'm not sure if that's going to happen. Now the Wisp and the CK, same combo again, 5 second stun in total. The Gyrocopter can't do anything, he can't stealth, he can't use his escape. The Wisp goes down to the Mirana, but the Mirana manages to make it out with a very nice leap. In fact, I think the leap triggered just as the Slardar stun came down, which means that she actually got stunned up here instead of where the Slardar stun came up. Now the Slardar blinks up and stuns the Mirana, and they manage to get the kill off. A little bit of armor autonomy from the Chaos Knight ensures that he stays alive, even though there's about 5 creeps pounding on him.
Dire's bottom tower is
Dire
under
comes
attack.
back quite well from that attack. Now they are 2 towers down. Looks like we're looking at... Oh, they're going to defend the tier 3 at the bottom with just a Razor. The Bounty Hunter is just trying to kill these Ancients here, just wanting some gold. Has a Morbid Mask, so he probably is going to Vladimir's Offering, considering he also has a Ring of Basilisk. That will help the Chaos Knight quite a bit, as well as the Slardar. Slardar has gone for Blink Dagger Vanguard setup. Not my personal choice, but I see where he's coming from, considering he was on the hard lane solo. Wisp is still not finished his mechanism at 25 minutes into the game, but does have an Urn of Shadows. Standard build, standard build. Bounty Hunter continues just farming away with his Janata. And the Chaos Knight, I'm not sure I like the fact that the Chaos Knight is spending so much of his time a little bit idle, a little bit too ganky. I would say he should be just going around farming and letting the... Although, I suppose not, because he is being very successful. It is a risky strategy because the Radiant side could have been able to prevent that from happening. With a little bit more awareness, with a little bit more preemptiveness, and not walking around alone because of that constant threat. But the strategy is paying off for him, I suppose. So, you know, go with what works. I mean, honestly, from the side of the Chaos Knight, it is looking like a bit of a pub stomp at the moment with a 15-3-5, and the Wisp with a 2-6-15. I mean, even the Wisp has gotten a couple of kills here. And it looks like the Radiant side is going to try to take the final tier 2 tower at the bottom lane, but the Dire side is not going to let that happen. Slardar comes in, puts a amplified damage on the Jackro. Probably looking to shut him down very early, very quickly because of his disables. But it looks like they're not going to make a big engagement. The Jackro Ice Path goes down. I believe they're in Mirana ulti. Call down goes down, Black Hole goes down. It's a 2-man Black Hole, but it's cancelled out. Ice Path goes down. Chaos Knight is going down on the Macro Fire, but managed to finish off the Gyrocopter first. Queen of Pain is trying to finish off these 3 people that are on practically no HP. Is she going to make it? No, she's not. She is also very low. The Razor ultimate is really eating her down. Bounty Hunter TP's back in. following a buyback to score a kill on the Queen of Pain. And a relatively even trade there. But the Bounty Hunter does go down again. So that's 4 kills and a forced buyback out of the Dire side in exchange for 3 on the Radiant side. Engagement definitely looking in the favor of the Radiant side. And the tower goes down as well. So yeah. Dire did not have a good day with that. Luckily the Chaos Knight did not die, but regardless, they didn't manage to get out all of what they wanted from that. That black hole and the call down combination is just too strong, as well as the macro pyre going down on top of it. Even though it was cancelled, it still just gave them those couple seconds long enough that the call down landed. So having a look at the net worth graph again, it's actually looking quite a lot in favor of the Radiant side. Checking the gold graph, yeah, we have an almost 7k gold advantage for the Radiant side because of these 6 towers that they have, and the fact that they've evened out the kills a little bit, as well as, if I'm not mistaken, also the creep stats. Well, the creep stats are pretty even. Razor has 130, Slaughter has 121. Now, this is what I mean. The Chaos Knight has gone a lot more into the whole ganking orient. Oh, I seem to have missed the fact that they are killing the Roshan right now. So yeah, the Roshan is going to go down by the looks of it, by the Radiants, by the Dire sides, but the Radiants have caught on to this. The Ice Path goes down, the call down goes down, but the relocate goes down as well for the Wisp, with the CK going back to base. But they are going to come back here in a second to see if they get killed. There they are. The Gyrocopter gets initiated on because of dust. Even through the Mirana ulti, gets killed. The Bounty Hunter, however, as well has gone down. Mirana, the Slaughter is fighting with the Jackro. The Jackro manages to die while the Slaughter walks away with a kill. The Chaos Knight and the Wisp are both safe and sound, going to take the tier 2 tower in mid with the Razor in tow. So all in all, it's a pretty even game, but the last engagement was won pretty heavily by the Dire side. As you can see, the gold graph has gone down towards them. They are starting to make it back quite well. The experience graph, on the other hand, is very heavily in favor of the Dire side. If we look at the levels here, we're going to see, yeah, that they have 2 heroes at 18 and 19, whereas the Radiants only have the Mirana. Everybody else is quite actually solidly between the 13 and 15 level range. Expecting a little bit higher levels from the Enigma, to be honest, considering he has the Hand of Midas and the Bounty Hunter. But, you know, stuff happens. Queen of Pain also not doing too well, but she was forced into the hard lane. Not the ideal lane for Queen of Pain. She needs runes to have lane advantage, so yeah. And the Wisp gets a Blink Dagger. Now that's interesting. I'm not sure what the purpose of that is. I suppose we'll see very soon. It is P0wernet, so I'm sure he knows what he's doing with it. Chaos Knight just farming away the jungle. Dire team just getting a little bit of recuperation, farming away. Pushing the bottom lane a little bit. Have a nice solid lane going down. Possibly going to would have tried to take the tower, but the entire Radiant team is wheeling around, looking menacing. They don't see any of them, but Slaughter does decide to back out, just in case. As the Slaughter has got his BKB, should make him a lot more capable of surviving in these team fights where so much disable is going down. The Chaos Knight also has a BKB, so it looks like the Dire side has a lot more potential for getting these team fights back. Now, what I'm wondering is why the Enigma... Oh no, the Enigma also has a BKB, so that's good. At least now he'll be able to get off a black hole without being interrupted. Still hasn't upgraded his boots. Yeah, going back through the items again, we have the Mirana building a Manta style by the looks of it, has a diffusal blade ready. Queen of Pain is trying to go for an Aghanim Scepter. The Gyrocopter there just finished the BKB as well, so the Gyrocopter looking quite good as well now. Had a rocky start in the beginning of the game, but a little bit better now. The Enigma, as we said, had the BKB ready and the Jacaro. Looking to build potentially a BKB or an Aghanim Scepter. Not quite sure what he's going to go for at this point, but one or the other. On the other side we have BKBs up for Razor, CK and the Slardar. We have not too much else of note apart from the Armlet of Mordigion. So, I mean, we do have the Blink Dagger on Slardar, which is big. The Vanguard is alright, and we do have a Manta style on the Razor. But, quite honestly, nobody in this game is looking too significantly farmed up at the moment. Although the Chaos Knight does have 4,000 gold. Probably looking at getting a heart, but wants to drop the Aegis of the Immortal first. Still has that, so we'll see what he does with it. Mirana misses an arrow, trying to get a blind arrow on the Bounty Hunter. Continues farming, Bounty Hunter still hanging around, possibly going to look at doing something here. But, yep, initiates. Ice Path misses. And the Wisp CK come in to try to get the kill off, but unfortunately they teleport to the wrong side of the tree line and don't manage to get anything. The Slardar pops his BKB to escape, but I'm not sure if he's going to manage. No, the Mirana leaps and gets the kill, pops her ulti to help everyone get out. The Enigma has his black hole, but will not pop it here yet. Razor pops his BKB to try to get away as well. Enigma blinks in, puts a Malefice on the Razor. Razor is going to probably go down. Yeah, there it is. Ended his killing spree for 446 gold. Nice little bit of gold for the Enigma. Not that he needs any more considering his Hand of Midas. The Wisp CK come in, try to get a kill off. There's the black hole. Hits only one, but it might be enough for them. It might be nope. There's the Phantasm comes out. The Illusion's going down pretty quickly, but still managing to put out a lot of damage. Reality comes out on the Enigma. Malefice goes down though, and the Chaos Knight and the Bounty Hunter both go down in that engagement. That's 4 for 0. Not a very good engagement for P0wernet's stack. P0wernet himself being the only one that got out with a little bit of health. Now it looks like the Radiant side is now going to try to go for a Rax potentially, but I'm not sure whether they're going to have enough time. The Razor is coming up in about 10 seconds, and the Bounty Hunter is coming up in 20. The CK is still down for the count for a while, but he buys back to make sure that they don't get this tower, and I reckon, yeah, they are going to back out now. They're going to back out, and, you know, cash out while they're ahead. The Wisp CK teleport in, call down goes down, hits the CK, does not hit the Wisp. CK gets a 4-second stun off on the Jacaro, but decides to abandon it because he is taking heavy damage. Slardar blinks in, pops his BKB, gets a stun down, but isn't managing to get the Jacaro before he goes into stealth from Mirana. Ice Path goes down, catches the Razor. Razor activates his BKB afterwards. Twin Breath goes down, but he is of course immune to it with the BKB. Has his ulti up, can't do anything about it. Malefice goes down. They're going to try to go for counter initiation. Ice Path once again misses. Nobody in the Ice Path. Chaos Knight gets a Reality Rift, kills the Jacaro. Enigma goes down as well with a 3-second stun. And the Dire side makes a comeback. Only Queen of Pain and Mirana still up. Enigma buys back into the game. Mirana buys her Manta style, but are they going to be able to defend this? Scream comes out from the Queen of Pain. 2 seconds stun on the Enigma. Not enough for them to be able to get a kill off. And he's stunned in the range of the towers and goes down, this Chaos Knight. Enigma not going out and looking for a couple more kills. Has a Blink Dagger up, but probably doesn't want to overextend too much. And is tracked. So, you know, doing what he can. Probably just making a power play. Arrow goes out. Of course, doesn't hit anyone. That was a Hail Mary pass. Bounty Hunter still here, trying to look for something to do potentially. But
Double damage.
you know, pretty back and forth. I do apologize for being able to see how long the game has left, but for some reason I don't actually have a button that. Okay, well apparently they removed the button that lets me close it there. So there we go. That's removed. Now you can lose track of where you are in the game again. Okay, so Bounty Hunter nearly gets caught out there, but the arrow does miss and he does manage to get into stuff. Looks like the Radiant team are gathering up as a 4-man again in the middle, but Dire side see everything due to well-placed wards belonging to Razor of all people. That's surprising that Razor would be the one buying the wards, considering he is one of the cores on their team. Now, if anyone could actually tell me what his name means, and I'm assuming that looks like Chinese. So, if anyone could tell me what that name means, that would be awesome. Mostly because I'm just curious. Alright, so this is Slardar down at the bottom lane, just farming away, and it looks like the Radiant team are going to try to make a push in the mid lane. The Bounty Hunter has now picked up a BKB as well, meaning there are 4 BKBs on the Dire side. I can see why they're doing that, but I can't help but feel that it gives them a little bit too much of a timing effect to their ability to fight. When you have 4 BKBs, you have when you have those 4 BKBs up, you're going to be able to get a lot of kills, or at least do well in the team fights. But especially with the chase potential of the CK and the Bounty Hunter, you're probably going to get a couple kills up. But what happens when the BKBs go down and they don't have items that are equally good for the entire time? Not to mention the fact that BKB doesn't make you immune to the black hole, which means that if they pop their BKBs and get caught in the black hole, that's 4 magic immunities wasted, and they don't have anything. They don't have very much else. They don't have as much damage. They don't have as much killing potential. Now, the Chaos Knight is going for a heart by the looks of it. Has his Reaver built, but is probably saving money for. No, he just doesn't have enough money to finish his heart yet. Hasn't gotten very much farm as of this point. Still on about 114 lost hits, whereas the Razor and the Slardar are on 169 and 212, and the Jarrah couple on the other side is on 166. Just a little bit of back and forth happening. Everybody's tracked on the Radiant side, of course. Bounty Hunter doing what Bounty Hunter does. Mirana, oh, he managed to actually track the wrong Mirana. The real Mirana being in the jungle here. But it's no biggie. There, he now tracks the real Mirana. How he saw her, I'm not quite sure. Mirana tries to put another Hail Mary arrow. Fails. Takes a couple hits from the Wisps. And it just keeps going back and forth. Neither side wanting to initiate. Neither side wanting to go in and commit. Dire side feels it's more advantageous to just stand by the tower, and it is. And the Radiant side, they want to counter-initiate with their black hole. Wait until the Dire side pop off their BKBs,
has been denied.
and then just counter it out with the black hole.
Radiant's
And
bottom
the
tower
Bounty
is under
Hunter
attack.
and the Jackaro are getting a little bit frustrated, saying this is fucking dumb, and the Jackaro telling him to do something. But nothing's going to happen. It's a Mexican standoff in the middle of the middle lane.
Radiant's
Another Hail
bottom
Mary
tower
arrow
is
comes
under
out.
attack.
But it doesn't look like anything's going to happen for a little bit. not. And it looks like they're going to make a little bit of an initiation, but it's a little bit half-assed. They don't commit fully. Ice Path goes down, traps the Razor, but he's on the high ground. They don't want to go up there.
Attack.
So they back off again, and honestly, this is one of the worst moments in a Dota game, is when you are in this situation as the player and you are forced to just wait the other team out and see whether, you know, they're going to initiate or you should initiate. And there we go. There's the initiation. Slardar comes in, stuns out the Enigma. Enigma pops his BKB to prevent further stuns. Call down goes down. Doesn't hit anyone though. Ice Path goes down. Black Hole on 3 people. Macropyre on top of the Black Hole. Scream of Pain. The Chaos Knight goes down. Razor. Oh, sorry. The Razor goes down. The Chaos Knight is still alive and kicking on full health. Wisp has gone down. Jackrow goes down to the Chaos Knight. The Queen of Pain. Queen of Pain has managed to get away, but the Mirana goes down. Mirana calling it out and saying how lame this is. So, you know, the Dire side broke the Mexican standoff and they profited from it. Looks like the Chaos Knight will have almost enough to have his Heart of Tarrasque very soon. In fact, he already has the recipe on the courier, just going out to get his Vitality booster, so he will have the Heart of Tarrasque coming to him now. That will make him very difficult to kill, but still doable, still doable. There's a lot of disable on the Radiant side. Okay, there's the Heart of Tarrasque coming out. Now they're going to try to go for another Roche. Probably give it to the Chaos Knight again, though he is running out of inventory slots. Slardar getting pretty low there with being hit by the Roshan. But obviously, you know, at this point you have 3 carries killing the Roshan. There's no problem with it. Chaos Knight drops his scroll teleportation and picks up the Aegis of the Immortal. The Dire side is doing better and better, and I gotta say I was wrong for doubting their Black King bar strategy. With the way that they initiated at a staggered pace, you know, normally it wouldn't work, but because they had the BKBs, it just let them use the BKBs to the fullest. It didn't give the Enigma the opportunity to cancel them all out with a Black Hole. Gyrocopter and the Enigma just going to farm up a little bit the top lane. It looks like the Dire side team is going to go for a push on the bottom lane. Now, Black Hole is still down for another 50 seconds, so they're probably going to be able to get this tier 2. Whether they're going to be able to rax, that's a different question, but I reckon they are feeling confident. They have the Aegis, they have advantage in kills, they have all their ultis up, and they know that the Enigma doesn't have his still, so I would make this push at the moment with Dire side. There's the initiation. Stun goes down on the Gyrocopter. Gyrocopter simply melts in front of the Chaos Knight, and they are forced to retreat back onto the high ground. Tracks going down as always everywhere. 3 tracks at a time. Ice Path goes down, catches the Chaos Knight. Not his illusions though, manages to keep dealing damage. Fortification goes down from the Radiant side. It's going to slow them down, but I don't think it's going to stop them unless they make an initiation here. They need to man up. There's the Black Hole. There's the Black Hole. Catches 2 people. And the Razor goes down. Gemma True Sight drops on the ground. Chaos Knight going to go down, but he has the Aegis. BKB pop off from the Bounty Hunter, and there's the Chaos Knight coming back up. They're going to try to kill him now. I can't actually see anything that's happening because of these amplified damages and tracks. I can't see where the heroes are at. Might have to turn down my particle effects. But the Chaos Knight does get a Malefice on him. They are going to try to counter-initiate now. No, they're not. They are going to slow down the Chaos Knight. Yep, and the Chaos Knight goes down. The Bounty Hunter is still around here, but they do have a gem. They do have a gem from the Razor, remember. So the Bounty Hunter does go down. Thinks he's safe in the tree line, but he's not. Slardar just retreats, you know, tail behind his legs if that's possible, considering, you know, he only has a tail. But not a great initiation, and it looks like the Razor's actually DC'd from the game. There's no pause coming out, but I suppose that makes sense because he's still Bounty Hunter a little bit mad. Saying that the Radiant jungle is you know, playing in the favor of the Radiant. Makes sense. Well, we are looking at, they are going to get these racks down potentially. The glyph does go down, but I mean with Razor DC'd, and honestly I can't help but be disappointed by the fact that Razor, that they're playing on without a pause while Razor's DC'd. I imagine the Bounty Hunter, while dead, is controlling the Razor, and it would be too much of a tactical to cancel it out. But the cooldown does go down. The Razor does go down as well in absentia. And the other three are very low on HP. The Wisp trying his hardest to heal up the CK. Go in for the tether stun. Go in for the Chaos Bolt stun and kill off the Gyrocopter, but they don't manage to kill anyone else. It looks like they're managing to make this counter initiation, but the Jackro is going to go down to the Chaos Knight. Oh, actually, the Bounty Hunter gets the kill, and it forces the Radiant side back. But they did get 2 sets of racks, so you know it's good. I would take that trade any day of the week. 3 heroes for 2 racks, considering their lanes are pushed out enough that there's a relocate actually in the Radiant base. They're just gonna kill off a couple of little buildings for some money, and they managed to pick off the Queen of Pain. Queen of Pain not having a good time with this Chaos Knight Wisp combo this entire game. Just been getting eaten and eaten and eaten. The Slardar just picked up his heart as well, which will give him a little bit more survivability. In fact, a lot more. He's at 3,300 health right now. That's nothing to scoff at. Mirana possibly looking to try to get a kill on him, but I don't think she's going to manage now that he has this heart. Arrow goes out, stuns a creep, which gets it just in the way, but she's going to back off, yeah, because it's just too much health to take down from the Slardar. So they're just both teams are just trying to recover from those engagements, trying to keep this lane a little bit pushed out, but not too much. And honestly, I mean, I'm very disappointed that this game ended like this. Or is ending like this. I really just hope that the Razor comes back before he abandons, because the game was going very, very, very well. It was back and forth, and it'd be a shame to see this end, you know, as a 5v4. And Bounty Hunter looking to scout out the Radiant side. Goes back into stealth. Nobody sees him. But they might have actually, because they do have the sentry ward here. Starts putting up his tracks, just in case. Mirana gets her Daedalus. Oh, that's going to be pretty big. Now, Mirana, as you saw by the Slardar, was lacking damage, but this Daedalus might actually provide enough for her to take down a Slardar by himself, so even with the heart. In fact, I think that's actually what the Radiant side has been missing so far, to be totally honest. They've had the magic damage, they've had the initiation, they've had the call down Black Hole Macropyre combos with the Dual Breath and the Starfall and the Queen of Pain Scream. You know, all of that, however, is magic and has cooldowns. I think what they've been lacking is a bit of right click, and I think that this Daedalus on the Mirana might actually, you know, be what they needed. It looks like the Gyrocopter is going for a Monkey King bar, probably. At least I hope he's not going for a Rapier. And the Razor has actually reconnected, so that's good. So this game is not going to end on a 5v4 note. Enigma going in with an invisibility rune, scouting out, looking for the initiation, trying to get 2 kills off. And this might be big, people. Two-man Black Hole. These 2 are definitely going to go down in this. Queen of Pain will even relocate from the CK and the Wisp. Macropyre goes down. Refresher on the Enigma. Goes for a second Black Hole. Finishes off the CK. Finishes off the Wisp. And that's 4 people down for the cost of 0. Slardar again running away with his tail tucked in between his fins. And the Dire side team calls GG because, of course, they have 80 seconds until the Chaos Knight comes up. And quite honestly, I don't know whether they'd be able to. No. Doesn't have buyback. Slardar tries to do something, gets the Jackro to half HP. Yeah, the Chaos Knight has no buyback, so Slardar buys back, but
Dire's middle tower
Slardar by
is
himself
under
isn't going to be able to do anything against 5 people. Tier 3,
Dire's middle
tier 4
tower
towers
has
go down, and they start on the Ancient. The Ancient is going to go down now. And, well, as they say, that's all, folks.
Dire's ancient is up. Radiant
Brilliant play at the end there by the Enigma. Lucky rune, but used it to its full potential. Didn't wait for the 4-man. Got the 2-man. Killed off those 2. CK and Wisp teleported in and just surprised them with the fact that he now has a refresher.
A gift
And
from the night.
yeah, it was a brilliant, brilliant ending. Much better than I expected when I saw the Razor at DC. Very, very quick and decisive, but you know, the Radiant side showed a lot of skill. A very well executed finish. And honestly, I just think it's another example of one of those games where you know you can build whatever you like on the Radiant side. Sorry, on the Dire side, you can build whatever you like with this core of Io and Chaos Knight and this ganking potential of Bounty Hunter. But at the end of the day, where are the teamfight ultis? Where are the teamfight abilities? What did they have to control the fights? They had one AoE, one small AoE stun, one, to be totally honest, mostly just pesky ultimate from Razor, and not much else. The tether can be used for AoE stuns, but it's nothing to the magnitude of Black Hole into Macro Pyre, into Scream of Pain, into Call Down, into Starfall. All 5 heroes on the Radiant side were just crafted to do team fights, and to be honest, they also hold their own by themselves. Obviously, the Gyrocopter did get a little bit eaten by the Chaos Knight combo, as did the Queen of Pain, but still, the team fight ability just prevailed. I think it was just sloppy picking from the Radiant side, even though from the Dire side, even though the Dire side did play fantastically. Anyway, thank you for watching. Was the first cast from General Chekhov. Look forward to more from me in the future, most probably. And you know, leave feedback, please, and let me know how I did. Obviously, it's my first cast, so go easy on me, folks. General Chekhov checking out, comrades.